up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, day traders, closet swing traders? Welcome to Wednesday. Little bit of a relief bounce, I guess we're gonna take it as. There's a couple things I want to just be a little cautious of. We'll definitely go through that, but yeah, we're getting a little bit of a bullish bounce for now. Overall, oh, no screens up. All right. It's early. Everyone settle down. Settle down. Keep it cool. All right, we got it up there. Thanks, John. Uh yeah, so a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Give me a break. Oh man. We'll see. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the markets. Never mind trying to figure out how to do a little screen share action. We'll see. We'll see. We got YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Liam, Bomb Dad. Good morning. So, yeah, like I said, we do have a little bit of a relief that mainly came from, like, if you guys are trying to figure out what is happening in the market, why did we start bouncing? Why did we start getting all crazy after such a bearish sentiment? Biden. That's the answer. It was Biden. Biden did it again. Let me flip to a 5 minute just to get a little more detail into yesterday. So up until yesterday, around 2 o'clock Eastern, we just kept getting headline after headline. We're not sure what was happening as far as Ukraine, Russia. None of this has to do with the Fed at this point. And then Biden came out. He did announce. He worded it kind of interesting. So he did announce that there's sanctions to Russia, but from what I think the overall general public and general market took it as these sanctions were fairly light, meaning that we probably don't get a retaliation from Putin and from Russia based on the sanctions that were put out there. Is more or less kind of a slap on the wrist, and everything kind of just continues to normal. So after that, we started to rally pre-market or after market, post-market, and pre-market today. We've rallied a little bit more. The interesting spot on the SPY, though, the spot to really watch for today is where we came up for this retest. This was the initial breakdown from yesterday. And all we really did pre-market is retest into that spot. That was a spot that just never, a lot of times, once you have the breakdown gets retested. And then you pretty much continue on that path. So right now, pre-market, we've only actually gotten up to that point, and we have not actually broken down. We have not been able to break that. So I'm watching this little pivot pre-market. I'm going to keep it up on the screen for most of the day as I'm trading, just because that's going to be a key level. After we start beating that, I will say, okay, fine, we'll have a dead cat bounce. We'll at least push a little positive. Otherwise, in terms of the market as a whole, let me flip this to a daily chart. We are well below the 200. We're getting up to a little bit of doomsday pivot. So we actually still closed. This is the first time in 2022 that we closed under 430. It was very slight, but that's going to be a key number to watch too. So if we do start selling at any point today, if we get any closing below the 430 level again, that's going to be a very bad sign, very negative sign for the market. We did have a close right below a lot of those key points as far as even where the previous closes came in, previous opens came in, all of that stuff. We closed below that. So it's good to see, at least for a bullish sentiment, to see that the market is starting to bounce a little bit. You still have this head and shoulders. I'm not head and shoulders. You have a double top on the market, but we're trying to hang in there. My guess is, I mean, it looks like we're honestly starting. This is probably the ABC. I think this is some type of a 1, 2, potentially we're starting a 3. Anything really under today would be the beginning of yesterday, would be a wave 3 count. We could bounce a little bit, have one more little bit of a rally, and then roll over. That would make sense as well. And keep in mind, all of this is based off of Russia and Ukraine news and how the U.S. responds and all that stuff. But we cannot forget about the Fed, the inflation, all of that that's possibly coming in future weeks. I think March 16th is a big day. So March 16th is going to be a spot where we get actual Fed news as far as rate hikes and things like that of what they want to actually do. So that's going to implement the market for sure. But we're going to watch. Again, we did rally bullish. I think there's still a lot of negative connotations out there as far as the Ukraine and Russia situation. But for now, we're a little bit saved at least, and we'll kind of play it by ear, see how this market wants to move for us for most of today. We'll check out the Qs. So right now, the Qs again. Honestly, with this bullish move, we're pushing a little bit stronger. So the bounce spot really for the Qs should have been for 342.47. We did get a little bit higher on the Qs, so the Qs are a little bit more, at least in my opinion, bullish. But again, that's going to be, we got very close and we did fail, started to drop down. We're still hanging out above the 200 on a 5-minute chart. So I would say as long as we hang there, that's good. But really, if we're going to continue bullish, this is the pivot that has to really start to break, and then we should have some decent room to the upside. Right now, we're sitting kind of close to the top of that range. Again, this wick represents where all of the bears came in last time. So we're in a little bit of a danger zone, I think, as far as the bears could come back. Bulls could take some profits at open. I don't think this is a market you really want to kind of hold anything for if you get profitable on something, take it, because you don't know what tomorrow brings, especially with the chaotic headlines. Overstock, yep. So they reported earnings today. This is a company that, and I do have some of my long term, but right now a little bit underwater. I think $50 probably is the high of today. We'll see, but it's been absolutely getting wrecked. The earnings have been decent, especially up there. They've been okay, just absolutely getting clobbered. There's a lot of shorts. You have a good opportunity for a short squeeze in this one. It's Wednesday. Leave me alone. But yeah, so we do have a little bit of a squeeze action. Let's see where we're getting on the daily chart. I believe, yeah, we're way above yesterday. Good volume that came in. Right at the close as well. And right now we're looking at just the only issue I see with this one is we very close to some type of resistance for it. Whether that breaks or not, I don't know. I think $50 is probably going to be the high of the day. So I think most of the move might be in, but you have probably about just under $4 to the upside. But yeah, we are definitely trapping a lot of bears that are in on this trade. All of those moving averages, because they're on the wrong side, they're all going to act as some sort of resistance for us. But we are definitely trapping a lot of bears. You can even see on the TTM squeeze, we're kind of fading negative as far as the bearishness goes. So you're picking up more and more bears on this downtrend. You actually got into a little bit of the confirmed bearish action yesterday, and then today that picture gets reversed. So yeah, bullish would be the direction. I would try to again just wait for some kind of a pullback, some kind of profit taking, something like that. Once a stock looks like this on the screen for daily picture under just major key resistance, it's not one of the ones that's going to just absolutely fly. It's going to take time to get back up to the levels. Not saying that it cannot. I was almost going to get back into this thing like 2 days ago too. Like buy more shares of it 2 days ago. I wish I did, but the PE ratio is phenomenal at these levels on Overstock. So for a say short squeeze 10 times, short sleeve shirts. Yeah, everybody leave me alone. The internet is brutal. The trolls are out today. I need some coffee. To keep up with you guys. All right. Let's see what else we got. Lowe's would be another one. I haven't actually checked Lowe's today, but I know they did report. Again, it is going to be a good, I mean, look at the volume that came in yesterday. Reporting today, this could be a decent look for a runner as well. The only thing, again, that I just don't really love is the fact that we're pushing into a resistance. The bar was with Home Depot coming out the previous day. The bar was so low for these guys. I mean, these guys got absolutely housed yesterday. I'd have to watch it. I kind of like the overstock gap a little bit better. Just because at that point you're taking out multiple days of bearishness. Here you're only taking out yesterday, but you did have really, really good volume. So again, we could watch lows. If it pulls back, I don't mind trying to buy it and go long, but I think overstock and lows long would be the direction for both of those guys. If we look at Roblox, which is one of the 6 that we have on the list that we're trading officially as a team. Again, the one thing that worries me, so if we go back to that SPY picture and the Qs, we're pretty much right in the range of, like, that would be a good retest. If you sat down, you had a cup of coffee, you said the word short squeeze a couple times, and then just relax your brain, and you took a step back and you're like, that would be a good retest spot for the market, and then we could fade back from there. We did push a little bit higher. We're higher than close. Right now, we're not going to be able to trade this one as of right now out of the open, but it looks a little bit stronger. We had a nice run, but again, the entire market was kind of running. We had a close higher than open, so that's a little actually more bullish than bearish. But honestly, we kind of look like we're setting up for some kind of inverse head and shoulders, or not inverse, just head and shoulders. So I want to see if this line starts to break, and then we see some kind of fade, at least to 6. I'm not saying this is going absolutely insanely bearish. I mean, Roblox is low. People like it. People still play it. Every time I mention Roblox, everyone's like, oh, my kids still play Roblox. And I'm glad to hear about your kids, but not just that often, I guess. So we'll see if this one breaks down. This will be a head and shoulders. Unless your kids are going to start buying the stock up, then that would be definitely a key catalyst for me for sure. But we're going to see if this one pulls into probably roughly about the 47.15 zone. See if that one, but it has to break that little bit of a head and shoulders that we have on it. So I'd be looking for, I mean, this is going to sound dumb, but bullish until it's not. So I'm going to be looking for bullish if it stays above it. If we start really breaking down, it looks a little bit head and shoulderish to me, and we'll see if we get some kind of a fade lower for that one. Such a cult. You got to see the baby. Tesla. Seinfeld people know that reference. They get it. John X in the house. What's up, John? Tesla is gapping quite a decent amount. Again, let me see where I even drew this line from. I believe it's from the hourly chart. So here's my hourly chart, downtrends on Tesla. And right now, we got a good bullish engulfing candle. This is the candle that had just a lot of volume on it. So if we could break this at any point, Tesla has a good shot of just running bullish today. We are banging our heads right now in that downtrend. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback first. Come in, retest somewhere around this 814.91 zone, and then see if we get out bounce. But yeah, anything breaking this downtrends, especially breaking this one candle, which is somewhere in this 841.32, you might see a higher move, maybe even to, at least initially, first target would be probably 853.45. And then second target, honestly, we might, I mean, if we go absolutely screaming today, maybe we hit 893-ish, 890. So you have a lot of room to the upside on that one. We'll definitely watch that closely. As opposed to Roblox, which looks like, at least on a shorter time frame, looks like some kind of head and shoulders. This one actually is looking like some kind of inverse head and shoulders for right now. But again, I would like to see a pullback, just retest that. That would be a little bit healthier, and then we start to break. But again, we're gonna see what happens at the open, where this thing actually wants to open up at, and how the market wants to hold up as well. The dingo ate your baby. Good morning from India. Good morning. What is up? Make sure if you guys are on YouTube, there's 54 of you guys watching right now on YouTube. I got 9 likes. We're at a 9 like resistance. We got to break that resistance for sure. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Push that up there. Yeah, TJ Maxx got earnings as well. TJ Maxx. the return center for Amazon. These guys getting a little beat up. You would think a company whose sole based model is to return things from a different company would do better. It's like resistance could be a fib retracement. The guy for that 5-wave. I know the 5-wave is the brutal. This is a big, massive gap down. I know everyone's probably going to want to go bearish on this one. I'd probably reverse it, go bullish, just because I don't like money that much, I guess. Just this is a. Whew. Let me switch it over to a weekly real quick. Let's see how we're holding up on a weekly. Yeah, this is a brutal gap. I'd probably look to play the fade. You do have this gap over here on a weekly chart that never got filled. For a day trade purpose, yeah, I'd probably be looking to fade this one higher. You're not gonna have that much room. Honestly, I probably wouldn't even play this one. I would just wait. But if you want to play it bullish, target would be 65.26, maybe 65 even, somewhere in that zone. And then I would look to fade it, but it does have some room to the downside. You are trapping. Yeah, some of those bullish the green candles are more bullish than the red, so you have a little bit more bulls in this one trapped. But again, as a day trade at open, I would probably want to look bullish. I don't know if it's going to pan through, but even to the upside on this one, we're going to need a small setup to really make a good risk to reward on the trade. Historically, it's just been relatively flat. Doesn't really move too much. I seem to enjoy it. Yeah, just give your money away. Technically, isn't that a donation? Can't we tax write it off? I thought so. I don't know. AAPL. And then someone wants me to look at ASAN. We'll take a look at that as well. What do we got? 12 more minutes. BEA, beautiful. I guess we could shift off the weekly. Actually, before we do that, not too bad. We are sitting at the 21 on a weekly, which is usually a strong bounce spot. We did bounce off of it yesterday, held. The one thing with Apple is we do have some bearish momentum starting to come in on a weekly basis, so it's going to take some time really for that to play out, but sentiment probably, at least for a shorter term, might be a little bit to the downside as opposed to the bullish side. Intraday, relatively same thing. So three bearish days in a row. We are holding the 89 with a high wave. Can we break that high wave at all? Some increased volume, nothing too crazy yesterday, but a little bit more increased volume. I'd be seeing if we get up to this 167.18 as target one. And then again, crazy bullish day. Maybe we get up to 170, something in that zone. But it does look decently healthy. So you have a good bullish engulfing candle on this little pullback. Again, this is an hourly chart, so things are going to take some time to play out. But that wick, at least if that is a real wick, that would be a good retest of that bullish engulfing candle. You have maybe a very slight bear trap down there as well. So some bears might be trapped. Probably going to consolidate in this region, as we should have a relatively strong resistance. Anything really above 166.43, I'd be looking forward to get into it long. But again, we're inside of yesterday's range, so at least for the first 20 minutes, we're probably not going to trade it unless we do get a break higher or lower very early. Take a look at ASAN. And someone wants to go back to Roblox, so we'll do that as well. ASAN, daily charts. So this is a gap down. After 3 days of already selling, this will probably be bought up. So as a day trade, if you wanted to, again, I don't know how the volume's going to be for a day trade on it, and your target on it will be about $59. So not so much room to the upside if you are going to take that play. Worst case or best case scenario, maybe you can make it up to like $60.71. Gives you a little extra risk reward in this trade. Looks nice little double bottom. There's your neckline. That neckline hasn't ever been retested. If I could get this thing at $54.19, I'd be okay with that, because as a swing trade purpose, your risk reward is going to be solid. So I'd have a stop right below this last previous pivot, try to catch it on a pullback to 54.43. Gap fill wise, we do have a gap in this thing up at roughly $89. That one was never filled. And probably we're sitting at the 618 retracement on this one, as far as this pullback goes. So this is not accurate numbers, but it's going to be close. Nah, we already kind of broke that 618. Yeah, this might be a little bit of a damaged chart. I wouldn't be too excited to jump in this thing bullish. I thought that pivot was going to be a little bit higher, but you could also see here too. So I just keep adding fibs, like fibs on fibs on fibs on fibs. So this is the 618 right here, and we tried to hold it. We broke almost a retest into it, and right now we're pushing back into that retest. So until we really start breaking out of 74, which is, I know it feels like a mile away, this setup would provide you good risk reward. So we do have some kind of double bottom in there. If we can catch a retest to $54 and change, 54.24, something like that, that would at least give you good risk reward. Worst case scenario, you lose an R on the trade if it doesn't work, but that's the spot where I would try to play it if you like this thing bullish. I just don't love companies that have trouble breaking the 618 multiple times. Could be a little bit of a cup and handle. So you do have a cup. This would be your handle. And then almost we do have to draw another 618 on this one. We'll see where that one gets us. So let's say we want to measure this move. Yeah, even down here, so that's 56.24. So somewhere again down at that zone. If this thing is going to bounce, probably the retest, or even if you want to try to piece in a little bit at 56.24, that should be the bottom of the handle, and then we kind of continue up higher if this is going to be a cup and handle. But I'm not a huge fan of things that are struggling back to break that 618. So KK says cup and handles. He wasn't even in the room. He signed in, like his cup and handle bat the bat signal went off. Go away. Somewhere in the world, someone mentioned cup and handle. I gotta find him. Gotta find that person. AMD. So yeah, we was I on yesterday? Yeah, I was on yesterday on YouTube as well. But so I was looking at this hammer yesterday again. Bullish catalyst. They did have some upgrades come out for AMD. We did run. I was looking for a retest of this hammer. We just never got it from me, so I was not. I never picked up any. Today we might get a little continuation, but again, 120 was the target from yesterday, and we got to like 119.18. I would still hold that to be the target. Right now, we probably have some kind of a little bit of an uptrend, which oddly enough, that would take us right to that 200 on an hourly chart, so 120.43, and then maybe we get some kind of fade. I'm still kind of waiting out. I'm watching. I want to get 112.01 or just miss the trade for me personally, but getting something like that and then playing a bounce would make much more sense. For day trade purpose, right now we're still inside of yesterday's candle. So again, we're going to have to be patient on that one. I don't think anything qualified. The only one I didn't really look at is Delta, DAL. So we might have a nice relaxing morning at the bell. We'll just have to wait things out. Yeah, so a little bit of a double bottom. Good volume on this one. Actually, toward the close of yesterday, some selling volume. If this thing really gets past, you even had a nice little hammer. You're already building some kind of resistance. I actually probably look to play this hammer specifically. So entry at 42.50. Stop would be somewhere around 41.85, let's say. And again, the only thing that's going to have some kind of issues is you do have some moving averages coming down on you. So not the most greatest trade in the world just out of pure risk to reward, as that could be spots where you start to get some kind of a bounce. But good bullish engulfing candle. And what I like the most is that actually that volume at the end of the day. And so by the time we get a now entry, we're breaking pre-market resistance. We're also breaking that volume, maybe squeezing some shorts out. We did have a little bit of a high wave yesterday come in, but volume was nothing even close to that closing candle. So we're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna throw my charts onto a 3-minute chart to get ready for the day. Now that we kind of got some things mapped out, but again, for the six stocks that we're trading today, at least we're just gonna kind of be patient, wait. Probably we'll see if any of them break the higher low of the day from yesterday. And SPY again, I don't know how this thing's going to open. You definitely have some mixed bags on both parts. You have people bag holding some shorts. You got some people holding some longs. I do think that if I was in anything long, which I say that like as if I don't own anything, but and I just bought it yesterday, I'd be like, give me my profits. Look at DraftKings for rock. Yeah, DraftKings. Man on the moon. Up another roughly $1 pre-market. I know this is a 3-minute, but so far so good on that one. Daily chart, we still have some bearish momentum. And again, technically we have a retest gap. So even if you're playing this gap bullish, probably 21.96 is going to be your first stop on this one, but we'll see. We will see. Right now, again, it did pull back a little bit before the bell, 1954. Man, if it held up there, that would have been solid. Then we're playing a full gap fill. But you're already getting some profit taken. If this is a red candle, Rock, you could actually probably play this one bullish. Entry there, wherever this candle stops, that would be your stop, somewhere like that. And just try to push that one up bullish. But we got 1 minute and 42 seconds left. All I can say is market is going to do market things. So I hope that gives some people some peace of mind out there. Just stick to your plans. The market is honestly, we're back in COVID market when I say that, just because everything is moving based off of headlines and news is very fluent. So stick to your plans, have your stops. When you get profits, take your profits. There's zero reason to want to kind of hang in there and just, push the envelope a little bit. I'll do it on some day trades, I'm sure, but make sure that when you're doing it, you can move stops, things like that. Just be safe out there. Market is a little bit crazy. And actually getting back to COVID, if you look at the Russian market, it is pretty much back to the COVID lows. So think about that for a second. I mean, what happened after the COVID lows? We just skyrocketed. Not saying that's definitely the case. It's a little bit different situation, but I mean, for some, it could definitely be a good buying opportunity. Some of these dips. We did have a 10% correction in the overall market. That's a good sign for us to a good spot, at least for us to try to bounce. And even market right now is pulling back to that 200. But again, will it break it? Will it hold? You are making lower highs, and we'll see if this little pivot here breaks, which is 432.18. For anybody on YouTube, I got to let you go. I don't want to, but I promise I'll mail you guys some postcards or something like that. But you guys are awesome. Appreciate you joining me each and every day, or any of the other moderators as they hop onto the mic each and every day for you guys as well. But I got to end the stream. Sorry, just how that works. But you guys could also trade with us all day long. Just go to reallifetrading.com, and you guys could see the different subscriptions. We'd love to have you in the group. All right, YouTube.